We got run the lesson and realized we forgot to record yesterday, so we're starting the recording today. So if you need to copy these pieces into your notes, please do, but I'm going to go through this quick. Today we're working on expressions, writing expressions. So we're starting with expressions notes written on the back of our packet. And we've just gone through a bunch of different words that we use as we translate from English into math and math into English. We have certain words that tell us different operations. So we've listed a bunch of them that go from addition or subtraction. They're telling us if we see this word, we now know what operation we're doing. We've done the same with multiplication and division. So today's lesson, we're going to focus in just on our basic 4 operations. Here's where we need to pick up again, guys. So what we haven't talked about yet is what we call, wow, that's fun.
That's what we call it.
What happened here? There we go. Flipping phrases. Something happened here. So here we go. These are what we get when we translate from English to math. Okay? So when we translate from English to math, normally we do it from left to right, just like we read. So in my problem, if I say in English, I need the sum of 4 and 8. As we write that mathematically, we would just write 4 plus 8, using the numbers in the order that they are listed. Yes, ma'am? It is translating. Thank you. Okay, so these flipping phrases, when we switch from English to math, mean I'm actually reversing the order of the numbers. So the people like Asher and Vincent that are paying no attention are going to really have trouble on the test, because these are the questions that are basically designed to mess you up. If you don't pay attention to these questions, you will get them wrong. And here's the big problem. In math, we have properties that help us figure out what our answers are. A couple big properties are the commutative property of multiplication and addition, and we do not have commutative properties for subtraction. So if it's a subtraction problem, you're going to be completely messed up if you get the order wrong. So here's the example I've been using. And I want you guys to figure this out in your head as I'm talking. Okay? I have $15. Gabby has $10 less than me. How much does Gabby have?
$5.
Actually, let me rephrase that. Gabby has $10 less than me. And I have $15. So how much does she have? $5. Did it change your answer with the way I said it?
No.
No, why not? The first time I said 15 to 10, you all subtracted and you got 5. The second time, I said her 10 first, and then my 15, but you still got the right answer. Why?
Because of the commutative property of addition.
But this is subtraction. Do we have a commutative property of subtraction?
No.
No. But in your brain, did you switch that order when I said it the other way? No. Why? Because I used that phrase subtracted from. Or less than, I think I used. So, you didn't in your mind do 10 minus 15, even though that was what Gabby had. You switched it to 15 minus 10, because when I say a phrase like less than, you have to switch the order of the numbers. Same thing with subtracted from, added to, more than. When you see those phrases in English, it's actually telling you you need to reverse the order of the numbers as they were presented to you. Yes, RJ? What? I'm sorry. I got another piece of paper or something. Okay, so this is the one that is going to mess you up most on the test. Guaranteed, you'll see multiple of these questions on the test, because these are the ones that really help us understand, do you understand what you're doing? So as soon as you see these phrases, alarm bells should go off. You need to realize I need to reverse the order of these numbers as I'm writing them. Okay, any questions on anything that we've covered so far?
What?
Okay, let's go ahead and go back to the front of our packet then. And here's what I need everybody to do. If you look at your packet, you'll see we've got this column here. This column on the far right. Basically, I want you to hide it. So you can either slide it underneath some books, or you can fold it. To fold it, all you got to do is fold on that line, and then just kind of tuck it under, so that all you see is the gray boxes and the words. Because here's what we want you to do. We want you to first read the words and try to write the expression as you think it should be. Once you have done that for all of the problems, then you can uncover the actual answers and match up the ones that actually go with it. Okay? So there's kind of two parts to this. First one, write it without looking at the answers. Second part, check the answers and see if you actually wrote it correctly. So we're going to give you guys about 12 minutes to do this, because there's actually quite a bit to be done. So we do want this to be individual work though, so please work on this by yourself. You may use the notes on the back of your page as a reference guide to help you if you're having any issues. But we want you to do this by yourself. So silent working, 12 minutes. Go.
Mr. Moore, good job.
3, 2.
Okay, on the first one, 3 times the sum of 4 and 8. So we're breaking it down as it goes. Again, we normally go left to right. So I know 3 times the sum of 4 and 8 means those need to be added together, meaning they need to be in parentheses. Okay? That's a really big one, because the way we mathematically do something first is we put it in parentheses. So if I have a sum of 4 and 8, those have to be added before I multiply it by 3. Okay? The difference between 8 and 4, comma, triple. Let's talk about the comma real quick, because this is actually a very important piece switching from English to math. To help you understand the importance of commas, let's look at 2 English sentences written out.
Whoa.
Write this.
Okay. Guys, hold on. Guys, well, I'm recording now. Okay.
Thank you.
Guys, focus in. Here is why the comma is important.
Quit talking.
This is actually one of my favorite t-shirt designs for English teachers. Let's eat grandma. Let's eat comma grandma. And right below it, it normally says punctuation saves lives. Why? Because what's the difference between let's eat grandma and let's eat comma grandma?
If you're saying let's eat grandma, that means you're trying to eat your actual grandma. But if you're saying let's eat my grandma, that means like you're eating grandma, but not sure. You're eating food with her, I guess. Check out.
Molly, did you hear any of that? Doubtful. So let's try it again.
I didn't.
So, Herbert nailed it. The first one, let's eat grandma, means grandma's the main course for dinner. We're eating grandma. Okay? Guys, quiet down. The second one, when we add the comma, is grandma's sitting in the living room. It's time for dinner to be served. Let's eat, grandma. So we're calling her to come in and eat dinner with us. Big difference. Guys, why am I taking the time to point this out? Because mathematically, the commas mean something. The commas are giving us a pause and telling us we're doing this, then we're doing this. So when you are translating from English to math, pay attention to the commas. They mean something. Okay? So I'm going to erase that for the moment so we can look in at the problem. And here's why it's important. Because with the comma, you know what? You're done, Vincent. Sorry. I tried. Move. Just go. No, go. So, with the comma, it's telling me the first thing I need to do is find the difference between 8 and 4, and then I'm going to triple it. If the comma was not there, then it'd be the difference between 8 and 4 triple. With them together, it means I would do the 3 times just the 4, and then take that away from 8. So that comma makes a big difference. Now, that being said, normally, when we do a unit together in parentheses and I'm multiplying it, normally mathematically we move the number to the front. So if you run it with the 3 times 8 minus 4, that would be acceptable. But we'll see in the answer they put it at the end. Okay, the next one. Sum of 3 and 4, comma, subtracted from 8. Subtracted from. Does that ring any bells for anybody? Damn.
Subtraction.
More than just subtraction.
Subtraction and addition.
No. Subtracted from. Remember where I said the one place we're really going to get you guys on the test is what we call flipping phrases. Subtracted from is a flipping phrase, meaning even though it comes last in your English sentence, it comes first mathematically because this quantity is being subtracted from the 8. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay? 8 subtracted from the product of 4 times 3. Again, subtracted from. Flipping phrase. Meaning the first thing that's going to happen is 4 times 3. And then I'm subtracting 8 from it. In this case, do I have to have the parentheses around the 4 times 3? Technically, no, because order of operations, I have to multiply before I subtract. So I would do 4 times 3 first anyway. Does it count badly against you if you put parentheses there when they didn't need them? No. Because that just helps you organize, you guys. Parentheses are a way to mathematically organize our numbers to make sure we're doing them in the right order. Okay, the product of 8 and 3, comma, divided by 4. That matters. Okay, we'll finish after lunch. Okay, our next one. We had just talked about the importance of that comma again. Meaning, I need to do the multiplication of the 8 and 3 first. And then I'm dividing it by 4. Just a side note, do I need those commas? Or those parentheses?
No.
Don't have to have them. Order of operations, multiplication, division just goes left to right. But again, you would not be counted wrong if you throw in those parentheses extra. Okay, 8 divided by 4, comma, subtracted from 3. Subtracted from, again, what is that?
Comma. No, sorry, it's a flip phrase.
Flipping phrase. Meaning it's going to be 3 minus 8 divided by 4. Again, do not necessarily need those parentheses, but it can help you organize it. Make sure you're doing it correctly. The difference between 4/8 and 3/8. Now, key note, there is not an H there, is there?
No.
3/8 is completely different than 3/8. 3/8 would have been a fraction. Instead, it's the difference, meaning I would subtract, between 4/8 and 3/8. Makes sense. Okay, so now if we max them up, that was your last step. Whoops, let's try it again. Oh, there we go. Okay, 8 minus the quantity 3 plus 4, we did that one. 4 times 8 minus 3 times 8, that was the one we just did. 4 times 3 minus 8. 4 times 3 minus 8, there's that one. 3 times the quantity 4 plus 8. Thinking that's the first one?
Yeah.
Yep, so that's this one. 8 times 3 divided by 4, good. 8 minus 4 times 3, that's this one. And 3 minus 8 divided by 4, good. So we matched them all up. So you can see now how that works, right?
Yes.
It's starting to make a little more sense to everybody. Yes, RJ? No. Okay, let's go ahead and turn to the next page. This one is kind of done the same thing, but all we're doing is writing them. We're not giving you the correct examples now. So you only have 7 problems, translating them from English into math. We'll give you guys 4 minutes. Go. Okay, the first one, triple the difference between 18 and 4. I've had a lot of people asking, what comes first? Guys, you literally do it left to right in math, just like you do in the reading, unless there is a flipping phrase. That's why the flipping phrases are so important. So because the triple comes first, that means the first thing I should do is 3 times the difference between 18 and 4. In order to get that difference, they must be in parentheses. Technically, I don't have to have that dot when I have the parentheses, but you wouldn't be counted wrong for that. We should get away from using the X. 6, subtracted from, bells, flipping phrase. That means that's last. Quotient of 84 and 7. 84 divided by 7 minus 6. So I'm taking 6 from it. Sum of 4 12s and 7 16s. Again, really important that that's not a TH and that's not a TH. If those were THs, those are fractions. But they're not. That means I'm multiplying them. So 4 12 and 7 16s. Firstly, I would put them in parentheses. Difference between 10 and 5, comma, added to 36. Added to is another one of those flipping phrases. Meaning I should do that one first. 36. And I'm adding the difference between 10 and 5. 38 minus 14, comma, divided by 8. Comma means parentheses. 38 minus 14 divided by 8. Sum of 42 and 55, comma, double. So 42 and 55. This is actually one of those cases. I wouldn't mind if you did the 2 on this side or the other side. Technically, whenever we have those parentheses in a multiplication, we would actually move it. But I'm okay with it being on either side. Given the way it's written, it really should be to the right. Product of 3 and 4, comma, subtracted from, flipping phrase, 24. So this one, 24 minus the product of 3 and 6, means I multiply them.
You 3. You talk the entire time. Why? You already moved somebody. Do I have to move another?
Okay. Any questions on any of those? Are they starting to make sense?
Yes.
Good. Because now we're going to do the same thing with folding your page. So I don't want you looking at this side. So fold that side so you can't see it, or cover it some way. We want you to write it. Guys, listen, please.
Hey!
There isn't a ton of room, but if you'll write each one above, there's enough space in there to be able to write them. And then once you've written them all, then you're going to just draw lines and connect them to whichever one it is. Okay? So I'm going away from that page. Your instructions are clear. We're down to 8 minutes. That means I'll give you guys 5 minutes to do it and then 3 minutes to fix it. Okay, I'm going to go pretty quick because we're almost out of time. So triple the difference between 16 and 2. 16 times 16 threes minus 3 2s. Subtract the sum of 3 and 2 from 16. Really important in this case that you have that parentheses. Subtract 3 from the quotient of 16 and 2. Again, subtract from means the quotient of 16 and 2 comes first. Subtract 3. The sum of 16 and 2, comma, divided by 3, meaning 16 plus 2, in parentheses, divided by 3. And finally, add 16 to the product of 2 and 3. Add 2, that's another flipping phrase. 2 times 3 plus 16. So when we look at them, there's the one there's the one we just did. Well, let me erase those ones. Those weren't actually real. 3 times 16 minus 2 is this one. 16 times 3 is this one. Subtract the sum. 16 minus 3 plus 2. That's this one. Subtract 3 from the quotient. That would be this one. 16 plus 2 divided by 3 is this one. And the last one. 2 times 3 plus 16. I did that one. Okay. So there are your answers. Keep this packet. We will be finishing this next class. If we don't finish, it's probably going to be homework. But you need to have this packet with you. Any questions, guys?
Oh, sir.